combating nutrition disinformation and general bull. It's Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Instagram Live. And we're here with another episode of Jimmy Rants. And if you're brand new to Jimmy Rants, head on over to JimmyRants.com and you can see how this works. We start off on Instagram Live. So if you're not following me there, like Dory and Calamity Tam and CJ Schaffner are right now, they're coming in live right this second, as is Courtney Loves Keto. You can follow me there at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVINLOWCARBMAN. And once you're there, you can watch live when I go on Instagram Live for these Jimmy Rants. You can watch the replay for up to 24 hours. And then we pop it over onto YouTube, where you can access all of the past episodes of Jimmy Rants, which we're very quickly approaching 100 episodes of this show. And then finally, we have a Jimmy Rants podcast, which you can access on Apple Podcasts. JimmyRants.com is where you can find all of that. So today's Jimmy Rants is a practical one, because a lot of people have heard me talk about brand new products coming on the market that will be labeled as keto. And 2018 was a big year, but 2019 is going to be an even bigger year, where everybody and their mama is going to get in on the keto business. 2019 will probably be the hottest year for keto in the space of products that will be coming out. So you're going to see keto this, keto that, keto everything. And you might be wondering, how do you determine if a keto product is legit or not? A valid question. Because here's the thing right off the bat you need to know. Not everything that will be labeled keto will be legit. Not everything labeled keto will actually be keto. So here are some telltale signs if a product that you see on a store shelf or you see advertised online is actually keto or not. Number one, don't even go to the nutrition facts yet. Go to the ingredients list first. Look in the ingredients list, and if high on the list, and keep in mind the ingredients list is listed from the most amount in that product all the way to the least amount. So if high on the list, meaning the top 1, 2, or 3 ingredients, is either sugar, grains, starch, really anything that would be a major carbohydrate, that's a hard no. I don't care what they call it. It's not keto if it's got all of that in it. Okay? It's probably not something that's going to promote health. Now, sometimes some of the products will have a little bit of sugar in it in the form of like coconut sugar or other forms of sugar, but it's way down the list. And then you see it might be a part of some chocolate part. So like the F-bombs, for example. The drop-in F-bombs we talk about pretty often on here. They have tiny amounts of sugar that are in the salted chocolate one that they do. So it's salted chocolate, macadamia nut butter. Well, in the chocolate, they use a little bit of sugar to sweeten the chocolate. So that's way down the list, though. It's not in the top 2, 3 ingredients. So if you can budget that into your diet, that's great. But if it's way up in the ingredients, it's no bueno, okay? You also want to look at the quality of the ingredients being used. So if they start including things like natural flavors, which I've talked about this before, you want to know what natural flavors can mean? That doesn't mean like naturally occurring from foods necessarily. Natural flavors, and I'm going to gross you out, so get ready. You've been warned. 3, 2, 1. Natural flavors includes beaver glands. That's right. Sometimes you're eating beaver anus juices. You really are. And that's apparently somebody licked the butt of a beaver one time and determined, wow, this tastes good. We need to put this in food. But it's considered a natural flavor. And you got to know that that's in foods. Okay, that's one example. Another thing that might be in there is some kind of filler ingredient. So maltodextrin is a big one that's put in foods. Maltodextrin is basically sugar from a corn derivative. No bueno, okay? You want to avoid ones that have maltodextrin in it. You want to avoid ones that have an excessive amount of sweeteners. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with having sweeteners in some of these keto products. Obviously, keto is a sugar-free diet for the most part, or very low sugar diet. So, but they don't need to put 3, 4, 5 sweeteners in it. And some products I've seen, they don't just have stevia. They don't just have stevia erythritol. They have a stevia, erythritol, sucralose, ACE-K, on and on, monk fruit that go down the line. And I'm like, why you got to load it up with so many sweeteners? Come on. Some of those sweeteners are not innocuous, so you have to be aware that that's no good either, okay? If you're just joining us, we're telling you how you can determine if a keto product is legit or not. There's going to be a whole lot of products coming on the market that you need to know about, and you need to be able to figure out what are the good ones from what are the bad ones. So products go beyond food, though. I've even started to see some companies promoting like a breath ketone meter. There's a very popular one that's out there that's about $40, and they say that you blow into this little meter and it tells you whether you're in ketosis or not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's junk. That kind of thing is pure, unadulterated junk trying to take advantage of the ketogenic trend. So you've got to be aware of that. Trust me, if none of the leading voices in keto are talking about something that's supposedly this great magical way to measure for ketosis, it probably ain't legit. So I'm only aware of about 2 to 3 breath measuring devices that are legit right now. And I talk about one specifically and have been for years, the Ketonics, but there's a new one coming out that's doing an Indiegogo right now called Keto. It seems to be pretty good as well. But most of those smaller ones that are cheaper, $30, $40, all they are is a breath alcohol device, a breathalyzer. They're not going to tell you your level of ketosis. That doesn't really measure ketosis at all. And yet they're marketing it to people, and people are gobbling it up thinking they're doing something good. So that's another example. You've got to be very weary and leery of people that are promoting things to the keto market, and you don't hear anybody else in keto talking about those things. That is a big telltale sign. Now, that's not to say that there aren't companies that can pop up that would have legitimate products that haven't quite gotten to the level where they've reached out to influencers like myself and Maria Emmerich and different people that are out there that you could trust and hear from. But you have to be very leery of those companies. Okay? So the bottom line in this Jimmy Rants is determining whether something is that's a keto product that's got the words keto on it, or it says keto friendly, or perfect for your ketogenic diet, to determine whether it's legit or not. It's going to be very much predicated on the ingredients that are in it, on what is in it, on who is talking about it. And then, yes, finally, look at the nutrition facts. And if on the nutrition facts, something on the front package says 2 grams net carbs, but then you turn it on the back and it's 28 grams total carbohydrate, whoa, how do you call this keto? And of course, they'll try to say, well, we put fiber carbs in there, and then we put erythritol, and that doesn't have to be counted. Okay, that should give you pause, all right? Which means there will probably be very few legitimate keto products coming out. And you have to know that ahead of time. So knowledge is power. Now you know there's going to be a lot of products that will say keto, but they're not necessarily keto. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. Welcome in, welcome in. Always ready for a good rant. Thank you, Courtney. Appreciate you being here. Happy to catch you live, Tracy said. Hello, hello. If there is a barcode, I stay away unless the butcher prints a label that has a barcode. Well, that is a good rule of thumb, and a lot of people do only consume real whole foods that don't need a label. But for those people that need something while they're traveling, need something for convenience, there can be some good ones, like the Drop an F-Bomb people. If you want to go support them, they're a really fabulous company. They're in vitamin shops, and of course they sell online and have a really good product. But for the most part, I agree with you. If it has a barcode, it's probably something that needs to be avoided. But in those instances where you need something, they can be helpful. Amazing how many products have soy ingredients and GMOs, says Bullock in 2018. Yes, and that's something else to be on the lookout for that's ancillary to keto, but I don't eat anything that's got soy anything in it. The estrogenic effects of soy alone make me stay away from soy lecithin is a big one that they put in a lot of products. No, thank you. Why are they not allowed to tell us things like that? Are the ingredients? That's so gross. Bonnie Lene, if people knew what they actually put in a lot of the food supply, people would be outraged. There's things that are in the American food supply that if you go to the UK, it's been banned. They don't allow a lot of food grade ingredients there because they realize the toxicity that it has and the problems that are with it. So yeah, sorry to burst your bubble, but beaver glands are here to stay, sadly, in America till they change something. I'd rather eat real food. Thank you, Lilla Grand. I think that's probably a good way to do it. I just ordered F-bombs 5 minutes ago. Keto Stephalophagus said, should I be counting net carbs or total carbs? I usually use net carbs. I've talked about this before, Barnyard Keto. I am a total carbohydrate person. Net carbs is a game that manufacturers play with you. So that's something that's going to be used by a lot of companies to promote their products as keto. And you've got to keep in mind that while fiber carbs and maybe some of the sugar alcohol carbs from erythritol and things like that, maybe they can be reduced some from the total, they still count. Maybe they slower raise your blood sugar, but they still raise your blood sugar. So you got to count all of them. This is something I've gone round and round with a lot of people on, but I hold true to, if you want to be intellectually honest about your carb tolerance level, you got to count total carbs. I get frustrated with the use of maltitol in so many things. Tam, that is the worst of sugar alcohols. And sadly, they've put it in a lot of the diabetes chocolates. I know the Russell Stover chocolates, they use maltitol. It's a cheap sugar alcohol that caramelizes very similarly to sugar. And so therefore they put it in a lot of products. And so because of that, people don't even realize there are other options. And of course you get, the maltitol is so bad because you get really bad flip-flops in your stomach. And it's just really nasty. If you're constipated and you need a way to clean out, just eat some chocolates with some maltitol in it. I think Atkins pushed that net carb thing. Actually, it was started by Dr. Michael Eads, who wrote the book Protein Power. And he told this story about how when he wrote his book Protein Power, he wanted to give the people reading his book a little more flexibility in the amount of food and kinds of foods that they could eat. So he said, you know what? Vegetable carbs are pretty much innocuous on your blood sugar. So therefore, subtract the fiber content of foods, and then that becomes your net effective carbohydrates. Well, he put that in his book, and marketers in the food industry got a hold of that, and they said, ooh, we can tell people to subtract the fiber, and it doesn't count at all. It's zero. And so they took it and they ran with it. And unfortunately, it still impacts people's blood sugar. Slower, yes, but it still impacts it. And then, of course, they extended it to the sugar alcohols. Those are zero as well. And I'm going, ugh. So that just keeps people frustrated, and it helps them sell more product. But then, yes, the Atkins company got a hold of that as well and pushed the net carbs. I am a total carbs person. I have been for a very long time. I think it's really the only way that you can know where you stand in your carbohydrate tolerance. All right, guys, that is it for this Jimmy Rants. And the bottom line again is, how do you determine if a keto product is legit or not? You've got to pay attention to what they're putting in it. You've got to pay attention to whether it's legitimately low in carbohydrate, moderate in protein. Here's the other thing. They might load things up with protein and call it keto and have very little fat. So a lot of people think the Atkins bars are keto. No, they are not. If you ever look at an Atkins bar, they're very high in carbohydrates, and they're very high in protein, and they have very little fat. So you've got to be wary of all of those. I count all carbs I consume. It just makes life easier. AC forever. That is a great strategy. All right, guys, JimmyRants.com is the website. As always, head on over there, and you can see how this works. We start off on Instagram Live, so go follow me on Instagram at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. And then you can watch the replay for up to 24 hours there if you missed me live. We also pop these all over onto YouTube, so go look up Jimmy Rants on YouTube. And then finally, we have a Jimmy Rants podcast where you can access the best of the best in audio form. We have a nice little music bed that plays underneath. Again, all of this, you guys, is at JimmyRants.com. So until next time, we'll see you then.